Hello, Central School fourth graders. Welcome back for another week of library lessons. So, our theme this week is Anti Bullying Week. And what that actually means is this week we're going to be discussing not only in library, but in your class, in your lessons, ways that we can make sure our school is bully free and that everyone feels safe and respected when they are in our school. I think Central School does a really, really good job being an inclusive environment where all students and staff are respected, and this is a safe place for all of our students to learn, as well as express themselves and be who they really truly are. So, if you remember, I'm going to do a little recap because when you were in third grade last year, I read this story to you called Weird. And Louisa was our main character in that story. And Louisa was really being teased and bullied by another character's name of Sam. And Sam would call Louisa weird for all sorts of things, for raising her hand in her math class, for telling funny jokes at lunch, for kissing her mom when her mom came to pick her up from school, for speaking Spanish to her dad. So, all different things that Louisa would do, Sam would call her weird. And you can see our polka dots up here and our polka dots here. Throughout the story, the more and more Sam called Louisa weird, the polka dots started being removed or lost or disappearing from Louisa's really personality and life, right? So we open this story and we're only going to talk about it for a minute more, but you see her polka dotted boots. Sam made fun of her polka dotted boots, so Louisa threw them out, even though they were her favorite polka dotted boots and she loved them. And you can see right here the polka dots. So polka dots were a theme throughout our story, Weird, when we read it last year. This time, we're going to read almost the same exact story, but we're going to read it from a different person's point of view. Today, we're going to read from the person's point of view right here. Okay? So, I'm going to put Weird down and I'm going to pick up Dare. Okay? So, Dare is a fabulous, very fantastic perspective of the same situation, but from a different person's point of view. So here we can see our main character, and you can see that stars are going to be the main focus of like symbolism that represents Jayla. Now, you can see in the back, we still have Sam treating Louisa very unkindly. But let's see from Jayla's perspective how the story goes. Here we go. For all children, young and old, who have been involved in bullying, don't lose sight of who you are. Know yourself, be yourself. And remember, your brightest star shines from within. So today's perspective is going to actually be from the bystander perspective. So I want you to think of what a bystander is. It's one of those vocabulary words that's really important. A bystander is somebody who witnesses or sees bullying taking place. Now, we would like the bystanders to become upstanders. And an upstander is someone who sticks up for somebody who they see is being bullied. So in this case, an upstander would be somebody who's going to support and help Louisa. A bystander is someone who's just going to stand by and watch. Here we go. Let's see what happens with Jayla in our story. Hi, my name is Jayla, and I'm scared. See that girl? That's Sam. She's tough. She picked on me a lot last year, but I never stood up for myself. I didn't dare. So she was afraid to stick up for herself when Sam was bullying her. No one else stood up for me either. They didn't dare. What a loser. I didn't know why. Nice hair? That game is for babies. I didn't know why. They've been bullied too. So it seems like we have a lot of bystanders here. We have a lot of people that are watching, but no one's standing up for her. And Jayla doesn't understand why. Why isn't anybody standing up for me? Then one day, Sam started picking on a girl named Louisa instead of me. Those boots are weird. This is from our book that we read last year. Louisa's nice. She smiles and laughs and wears whatever she likes. I felt relieved. Phew, I wasn't the only one being bullied. I felt bad for Louisa, but good for me. I think it's important that we stop, okay, and recognize that these emotions are honest and real, and that's okay. All right, because Jayla's like, phew, finally Sam has moved on to somebody else. And that's natural for her to feel relieved and better that she's not being picked on. It's also natural for her to feel bad for Louisa because she understands what it's like to be treated poorly and be bullied by Sam. So even though she's feeling bad for Louisa, she's also feeling a little relieved that she's not being picked on any longer. And that's, like I said, that's an honest feeling. I tried to mind my own business, but Sam said things to me about Louisa every day. So notice what Sam's doing here. So Sam was last year picking on and bullying Jayla, but now she's changed targets. Now she's picking on Louisa, and now she's trying to bring Jayla in with her. Aren't Louisa's boots weird? Don't you think she tells the weirdest jokes? I didn't know what to say. If I didn't agree, she'd bully me next. So Jayla is living in what we call fear, right? She's afraid to stand up for Sam because she doesn't want Sam to start bullying her again. So her silence is making her be a bystander when we really need Jayla in this situation to be an upstander. But if I didn't say anything, why do I feel so bad? Stars? How lame. Remember, I said stars are Jayla's symbol, right? They're her signature piece. This is what she did right now to Louisa. She made fun of her polka dots. Well, she did make fun of Jayla's stars. I remember the way I felt when I was bullied, when no one dared to stand up for me. Look here, even though she is not doing the bullying, look at how the color is being drained out of her. And that's really a representation of how she's feeling. She's starting to feel really badly, even though she didn't say anything. And that color being drained from her is a representation of how she's feeling. I never thought I would be the one just standing by. Remember last year when she's like, why isn't anyone standing up for me? Don't they know how this feels? But now she's in the position that she should be standing up and she's afraid. And she's like, I can't believe I'm the one that's standing by. I never thought I would be the one. Then one day, hey Jayla, truth or dare? Go tell Louisa I think her hair is weird. I was scared, so I took the dare. Now I feel bad for Louisa and bad for me. This isn't the kind of person I want to be. So Sam made Jayla do a truth or dare, and Jayla went and told Louisa that her hair was weird. And now she feels even more terrible because now she actually is no longer a bystander. Now she's involved in the actual bullying. I dare you to tell Louisa she can't sit there. Oh, No. So now Jayla is bullying Louisa. What can I do? What can I say? I take Sam's dares because I'm scared. But then I feel even more scared and alone. Maybe Sam is just using me. So now, if you think about it, Sam's not even doing the bullying. It's actually Jayla who's doing the bullying, and Sam is using her to do the bullying for her. If it were up to me, I'd tell Sam, "Hey, Sam, that's really mean. I'm going to tell the teacher. Why are you always picking on people? I won't be part of this anymore. Stop it." But Sam never stops. She just keeps acting tough and making dares. Maybe she knows that I feel scared. One day when Sam wasn't around, I saw Louisa sitting by herself. Her boots were in the trash. And this is what happened in the last story I read to you last year. I wanted to say, "I'm sorry," but the only words I could think of were, "What?" and "if." What if I talk to Louisa and Sam finds out? What if Sam starts calling me a loser again? What if things get worse? But what could be worse than feeling scared all the time? And what have I lost? I lost my style. I lost my stars, my laughter, my confidence, my courage, my kindness. I've let Sam take all of those things from me. Those are all the things, boys and girls, that a bully can take. They can take your laughter and your style and your kindness and your courage and your confidence if you let them. But you don't have to let them. You can stand up to them. I have lost a lot. So has Louisa. And that isn't fair. That's right, boys and girls. It's not fair to let them lose all these things. The truth is, there are people who care and who stand up for others. Let's think of some ways you can stand up for yourself and Louisa. So Jayla here decided to talk to her dad. "Stop picking on her. Thank you for letting me know, Will. We don't do that at our school." So these are some ways that we can brainstorm about helping and finding people to help us when we're in these situations. Oop, I lost my page. Sorry. So we can tell our friends, we can tell the teacher, we can ask our group to help us. So I've been thinking, what about making my own dare? Tell her how you really feel. Stand up and tell Louisa the truth. "I still feel scared, but I take the dare. Louisa, I'm sorry I didn't stand up for you. I found your boots. Do you want to play?" "Sure." So look at this one. She takes the dare and stands up for herself and for Louisa. Imagine what I will say if Sam finds out and she bullies me. "You played with Louisa?" "I sure did. You're weird just like her." "Weird and loving it." "You can't sit here anymore." "Fine with me." But now, instead of feeling scared, I feel prepared. And sometimes it is important that you have these conversations, boys and girls, to prepare yourself when you might find yourself in a situation like this. It's always better to prepare yourself for things like this. If everyone joins together, we can all play a part in making things better. We don't have to do what Sam says. Can you help, Mr. C? We need to talk to the teachers about it. We're playing my way. Sam, you can either follow the rules or sit out. The choice is yours. So here we have Sam trying to control how they play basketball. And the teacher hears it and says, Sam, you can play along with the rules or you can sit out." and Mr. C is going to be involved and start helping them. Now Louisa is being herself again. Love those polka dots, Louisa. Thanks. Cute boots, Louisa. Cool. When Sam calls her weird, Louisa acts like she doesn't care. And I act like I'm not scared. And guess what? I'm not the only one. So in this story, Jayla was able to take back the power from Sam again because she dared. She dared to take the power away from Sam and stick up for Louisa because she knew what was right. So here are some notes from Jayla's perspective. It says, helping Louisa was a dare worth taking. Here are some lessons I learned along the way. And D, daring to stand up for what's right made me feel good about myself. So when she took Sam's dares to be mean to Louisa, it made her feel really bad inside. It made her feel like she was losing who the person that she really was. She was losing her kindness. She was losing her courage. She was losing her confidence. So, but by taking a dare to do the right thing, actually made her feel really good inside. Acting like I wasn't scared gave me more courage to help Louisa. Sometimes, boys and girls, the more you act like you're not scared, it's like a weird thing. It actually, you become less scared. R, refusing to take part in the bullying made Sam realize she can't boss me around. So you have to refuse to let someone suck you in and be a part of their bullying. You never want to make yourself or put yourself in a position where anyone is telling you and you're listening to them to do dares that make other people feel bad about themselves. Even when I stood by and did nothing, I knew I was doing something wrong. So remember, in the beginning of our story, we're talking about a bystander and an upstander. And an upstander is someone who does something. They stand up to the bully. They tell a teacher. They help the bully. They make sure maybe that they're ask the person being bullied to play with them. A bystander is a person, like she just said, that does nothing. And that bystander ends up feeling really bad about themselves because they didn't do something when they had the opportunity. So, boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed our story about Jayla and when she dared to stand up for herself and for Louisa and how wonderful that made her feel. She was able to get her stars back, her confidence, her courage, and all those things back. So, boys and girls, remember, if you see bullying happening in our school, be an upstander. Tell someone, help the student who's being treated unfairly, and make sure that the bully knows that that behavior is not acceptable at Central School. All right, boys and girls, don't forget to complete our Google Classroom lesson for the week, and I'll see you next time. Bye.